So, hey guys, if you guys really think that Maxi is so strong, my question has always been, why don't we just try for Maxi more? You know? If Maxi is so strong, I might as well. Well, honestly, if you do get Maxied and it resolves, you kind of just don't want to play the game, depending on like the exact situation. Like, my opponent has 5 cards in hand, they have 7 negates on field and 3 other interactions, and they have like 1 or 2 interactions hidden away in the graveyard or hand related to archetype. For example, I don't know, Havness, Fairy Tale Snow, could be something like that. Yeah, and then Maxi was dropped on top of that. That does not feel like something you would necessarily want to play against. But you know, if we're the one on the interruption side here, if we are the one doing all the interrupting, and activating Maxi, I'm sure no one would be too upset about that, but alright. We are going to be that guy today. So, my first question is, why does no one run this combo? So, if we are, for example, we'll go with Tearlament this time around. So, we can just get a little creative, I suppose. So, let's see. Tearlament Havness has to be sent for effect to trigger. So, this is really notable in the sense that if we want to tour guide, so idea, very simple, we tour guide for Sangan, and then because we made tour guide, that there would be the idea to Cherubini send the Havness, but unfortunately, Cherubini sends for cost and not effect, so we could never trigger Havness off of just the Cherubini. If we had one more effect, it might be doable, but just some way to trigger this Havness in the graveyard, so that's not going to be a good play here. But what we can definitely do is we can use, um, well, we can't use this Descend Ray of Aramasir because we are activating Tour Guide effect here on normal summon and normal summon only, so that is not the play either. So how about we do a little bit of thinking? We do also have the option of technically just special summoning back the Sangan later, which is probably not that bad. So let's do it this way. So we'll grab Speedward, Terratop, and then we should grab Takatomborg. And I was just thinking about something, but I don't think it's applicable. So, okay. Now we need Cherubini because we're going to Cherubini to send Sangan if we don't have access to it, like immediately. And this is a fairy link to noted. It won't super matter, but alright. Next, we have Muckraker, so Muckraker should be able to Monster Reborn back Sangan. And if we can Monster Reborn back Sangan, we will probably need some targets, so we'll go with Yama. And then we'll grab Sharvara, Escape, and a Chainsaw of Rage, so this means we'll also need SP. So the combo idea is going to be a little bit more complicated if we are going to do it with the Terratop. A little bit, right? But Terratop does not take our normal summon, so we should still be able to have a decent normal summon. But basic idea here, Terratop adds Takatomborg, special summon Takatomborg, then we can do Cherubini to send either, well, if we wanted to, we could send either Sangan or a Fiendish Rhino Warrior if we put it in our deck, to then send the Sharvara to put an Unchained back row into our deck, which is something we could do. Or we could just settle for, I don't know, like Bamboozling Gossip Shadow instead, and just call it a day. Save ourselves that one main deck space. Okay. idea of if we send Sangan, we should be able to, uh, during around the end of our turn, I'm hoping to make Muckraker here, and potentially make Unchained Soul Lord of Yama and Unchained Soul of Rage, which we should probably be able to do. So this allows us to target either a Fiend Monster or face down card you control. And then, what is the exact wording on this? If a card is destroyed by battle or card effect, well, this card is in your graveyard. So if we destroy Unchained Soul Lord of Yama, it does not trigger, so we can't use that to, like, bring back Sangan and then link off for Unchained Soul of Rage. Okay. But this does mean we could go Unchained Soul Lord of Yama, and then Unchained Soul of Rage using Yama. Or we can pop the Yama and then link off the Sharvara to make Rage, which is somewhat reasonable, I guess. Well, whatever works, I guess, right? And this means we should have some access to some fiends, so the easiest fiend I think we can just do is probably Dugaris. If we don't want to actually play a fiend deck, we just need to make Dugaris at some point, so then after well, actually Muckraker will be on the field, so we can target Muckraker and just destroy Muckraker, right? Oh yeah, so if we made Dugaris earlier in the turn, we can go like Dugaris plus Sangan to then make the Yama. And then we can pop the Muckraker and then make Unchained Soul of Rage, and that should be fine. I mean, that's not too problematic. So now we just need a deck that can also make rank 4s, and maybe in an ideal world we can do the combo without doing normal summons if we don't want to. So one way we could go about this, pretty simple, we can throw in some map cards to be extra annoying, and this will push our opponent, and then also, well, just be annoying in general, I guess. But do we do these link plays that early on? I guess we kind of do, so we can't run this. Okay. So let's come up with a new idea. So with Tour Guide, we would need to save our normal summon. With Speedroid Terratop, we would want an empty board. So something that can special summon just in general without keeping track of the board state too much, I guess. So something like a Kishtira, just for example, not that great because sure we can normal Tour Guide, but we won't be able to special summon the Terratop. So what can we cook up here? If we want to be able to make a rank 4, I mean, with all of these guys, one easy way to start is Parallel Exceed. If we have Parallel Exceed, that's just going to be a free rank 4. And in this case, we might want like Dugaris. Otherwise, we can use these guys to make like Muckraker, for example, and that would be perfectly fine. If we make the Cherubini is probably just going to be used as link material to make something else. Okay. So we're okay with being Dark Locked, I think. Alright, I got it. So to make this work, we'll go with this. So if these can generate us extra bodies, this shouldn't be that big of a deal. So okay, all we have to do is throw in copies of Galatea, one Girsu, some copies of this guy. We'll throw in one of Return, I guess, one of Babel, one of Crescendo, one of this guy, 3 of this guy, 2 of this guy, 2 of Dingirsu, just to keep things simple. And I think that's what we need from the Orcus side of things, so we'll go Barricade Borg, and then we'll see if we need to adjust the extra deck in some way, which I don't think we will need to, but okay. So next, we're going to, well, let's see. We don't actually necessarily need to run Bamboozling Gossip Shadow anymore. So we can just take that out because we can just link into, well, we can use these guys to link into some of these guys, which is fine if it comes up. But next thing on our mind, I think we'll go with Verte, DPE, and then we'll throw in like access code maybe. And then we can call it here, right? I don't think we need anything else. So we have non-targeted removal, 2 different forms of that. No, 3 if we have DPE, but okay. We'll just keep it simple. So Fusion Destiny. Now we're going to check Fusion Destiny, and we're going to throw in 2 kind of related cards. So we'll go Denier, and instead of Dasher, I don't think we want Dasher here. So let's grab Malicious. And this should be okay, right? Yeah. Then we'll throw in a copy of just some starters, I guess. So preferably ones that won't require our normal summon. So we'll go with Dark Grepher, and I think we're going to be mostly okay, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's enough, I guess. Reinforcement of the army. Increase our consistency a little bit more. Then I guess we'll run like 3 copies of Maxi because that's kind of the point of the build. And then Cultivate by 2, Ash 3, I guess. That's what I would want to do, but actually now that I think about it. Do we care about Ash? Nah, we won't get Max Seed here in this build clearly. And also I want to increase the ratios of monsters that we have here. I believe we should be able to be okay if we throw in 1 copy of Zephyros. And then I guess it's fine if we do it like this, maybe. And then Destrudo as well, actually, to kind of balance this out a little bit more. Okay. This should do. So here we can Rhoda for Dark Grepher. That'll be fine, but this isn't the type of hand we're looking for. So here we have Tour Guide and the Sangan. And if we already have Sangan, I guess we can summon the Tour Guide, but that's unfortunate, I guess. Well, keep going. This hand doesn't do anything in particular. How about this one? This one, I think we should be able to get into the Maxi still, if we're feeling it, right? So Terratop special, add Takatomborg. Takatomborg special, make Cherubini, and then we'll send Sangan. Orcust Harp Horror. We can then go Harp, special, summon, and then we can, I think we remove Sharvara at this point, and also maybe the Trap, but that's me thinking out loud a bit, but anyways, then we still have normal summon Harp Horror. So we can normal summon Harp Horror, link off with the Cherubini to then make Galatea, special summoning Girsu, and then Girsu will be able to send Nightmare. Nightmare can bring back, or be brought back with World Wand, which we will send to the graveyard. And we can then make, I guess, Muckraker, and then Galatea Recycle as well. And we can definitely get the Sangan back, right? So we can special summon back the Sangan with, without a doubt, the Muckraker, I think, right? So it would be pretty clever if we instead used maybe the Unchained Soul Lord of Yama to trigger special summoning back Sangan. So if we were to do this with just pure Unchained, I think it would be better. Instead of using Orcus, because the Orcus lock is actually pretty brutal. Locking us into just like purely darts. So if we just adjust, it should not be problematic, right? And that probably works a little bit better because you already want to run Tour Guide. And Tear Top's not like too bad, right? Because we can still use this to get us places essentially. Well, we'll take a look at that variation next time, I guess. Well, you can't always end up with extremely strong banger decks, but conceptually, if we open the right hand, this will just happen every single time, right? So here, though, this hand is pretty good, actually, right? Since we have Parallel Exceed, if we have Special Summon Terratop, we can immediately go do Garrus with Parallel Exceed, and we can Cherubini to send the copy of Sangan. And then we can Special Summon back Sangan with Dugaris, and then we have Dugaris plus Sangan, which are both fiends, which allows us to then make Muckraker or Unchained Soul Lord of Yama, whichever one we're feeling, and we still have our normal summon retained, and we have the ability to just maxi our opponent at will now. Considering this doesn't take up our normal summon, maybe we should be glad that Parallel Exceed is semi-limited. And maybe we could focus more on, like, Cherubini and, like, rank 4. I never thought of using these guys this way, but if we did, this gives us access into Unchained Soul of Rage, and then Unchained Soul of Rage can go into SP. That's like just an idea we can do. And if we still have more bodies, we actually also have the further option to link off the Unchained Soul of Rage for the Verte and then make DPE. And then with DPE, we can use this to trigger potentially like a Yama in the graveyard to bring back the Soul of Rage for just, in general, more interaction, I guess. So I guess this was still worth building in the end because I have a bit of new knowledge. So basic idea here, we can use the Unchained Soul of Rage, and Yama, we can go through this line and then make Verte and then make DB, and we'll still be able to activate the Unchained Soul of Rage here. If we actually, in fact, did not make Unchained Soul of Rage, we can use this to add back a Fiend to our hand as well. So in this case, we could do Sangan for the next turn or Tour Guide for the next turn if it is in the graveyard. If we did not normal summon yet, we could technically, assuming we were able to do this with our normal summoning, we can grab Tour Guide and then normal summon Tour Guide. But that would be a little bit crazy, and we would not have to have made like DB in this case with Verte, so there are ways to do it, but pretty psycho things, all things well considered, just psychopathic play. So yeah, we'll work on this idea and cook it a little bit longer, but if you guys have any ideas for any other decks that can maybe utilize like Tour Guide Sangan or Terratop, make sure Beanie send Sangan, feel free to let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.